It's been a while since my last Sims 3 mods video, and I've discovered a ton of cool new mods since then. So I thought I'd make an updated list on my best Sims 3 mods going into 2025. Everything that I talk about in this video is going to be linked down in the description. And if you did miss my old video, don't worry because all of those mods made it into this list. Starting off with the essentials, the first mod I'm going to talk about is the Intel Alder Lake patch by Lazy Duchess. Long story short, Sims 3 was not designed to run on modern computers, therefore the game is impossible to launch on a modern computer. Honestly, I can't believe that EA has never fixed this. I mean, it almost feels illegal how they're out here selling a game that doesn't even work on its own. But thanks anyways to Lazy Duchess for saving the game. Another essential mod is the Smooth patch by Lazy Duchess. This comes with a bunch of performance fixes for Sims 3 that help the game run a lot smoother. Some specific things this mod does are load the Create a Sim clothing as you scroll, and it eliminates that super annoying stutter while all your patterns are loading in. There's a big difference before and after using this patch, and I could not imagine going back. But this does take a little bit more work than a traditional mod, and you have to manually open the game through the Smooth patch launcher every single time you play the game. When you first start using this mod, it seems like a lot, but after a while you just get used to it. Plus, you can create a shortcut for the Sims 3 patch launcher, allowing you to open it up straight from your desktop. Next up for the essentials are NRAAS Overwatch and Air Trap. These mods are must-haves for making sure that your game is smooth and free of corruption. Overwatch cleans up your world by doing things like eliminating extra cars and turning off stereos. Apparently this game is always spawning in cars for some reason, so the mod will remove them every night at around 3 AM. This helps the game run way smoother and prevent corruption in the long run. Air Trap is another great performance mod that fixes issues as they pop up. This is a huge one for preventing corruption. I've been playing through the same legacy save for 9 generations, more than 100 hours, and my game has never corrupted. And that's mostly thanks to these essential mods that I just went over. And one last mod that I wanted to go over in the essentials is Regul Save Cleaner. This is a handy little application that you can use to automatically clean your cache for your save files. There are a bunch of other settings here, but I mainly use it to clean my cache. Up next are the lighting mods by BRNT Waffles. BRNT Waffles has a ton of different lighting mods for you to choose from, each with its own vibe and unique feel. Overall though, these are a lot better than the ones created by EA, and I definitely recommend. I mean, just look at this skyline. Up next is a mod that I just recently started using, which is the Sims 3 HD Textures Terrain Pack by Regul. I really love Sims 3, but one thing that's always bothered me is the terrain textures, especially the grass. This mod fixes this issue by overhauling the terrain textures in this game all the way up to 4K quality. A lot of the swatches were updated, so it's more than just the basic grass being updated here. The roads also got new textures with this mod, which is a huge relief. If you play Sims 3 frequently, then you know that there's these weird repeated textures going on with the roads. Thankfully, this retexture mod fixes that issue. When you go to download this, you'll be able to pick from 3 different versions, being 1K, 2K, and 4K. I play Sims 3 on 1440 resolution, so I just went with the 2K option. It's also important to note that when you're using 2K and 4K versions of this mod, that's going to require more resources from your computer. If you're using a laptop or a lower end computer, it's probably best to stick around 1 or 2K. Up next is the More Interactions mod by Buzzler. Guys, I just added this mod to my game and it's already become one of my favorites. This fixes a lot of broken interactions with the game and adds in some new ones. Just to give you some examples, you can now tell Sims to go to bed together, there's a new interaction to help kids with homework, and you can commission the repairman to upgrade objects for you. Just the fact that we can pay the repairman to upgrade objects is insane to me, and I love this mod for it. But that's not all. This mod also makes socializing a lot easier in the game. You can now pick the tone of a conversation and your sim will automatically keep it going with related interactions. This mod has a bunch of really cool little features that when put together make it a very great addition to your game. I definitely recommend this mod to anybody. Up next is the Clean UI mod by Just Miha. If you're not a big fan of the Sims 3 UI, then the Clean UI mod is a must-have for you. It overhauls the game's UI with a new modernized version. You can also download a new loading screen along with the Clean UI mod, but me personally, I just use the UI. Up next is the Lot Population mod by Lazy Duchess. One of the biggest complaints people have about the massive open worlds in Sims 3 is that the community lots are always empty. This mod fixes this issue by spawning townies as your sim goes to a certain community lot. This mod will teleport townies to the lot you're visiting, and it'll do it outside of your camera view so it all looks natural. So you'll never see a sim spawn right in front of you. They're pretty much going to be walking in from the edge of the screen, which is a really cool touch. This mod also keeps track of which townies it spawns in. This makes it so that you're not always seeing the same group of townies every time you visit a community lot. This mod also adds walk-bys like the ones we have in Sims 2 and Sims 4. These are basically the townies who walk around on the sidewalks. This is honestly such a cool mod that fixes one of the biggest gripes in the Sims 3 community. I just barely started playing with this mod and it's already become a must-have for me. Up next is going to be NRAAS Woohooer. I always knew this mod existed, but for some reason I never bothered to try it out. After doing some research, I found out that it was very similar to mods like Wicked Whims from Sims 4 and Autonomous Casual Romance from Sims 2, both of which I really enjoyed. This mod lets you enable teen woohoo and teen pregnancy. It adds risky woohoo and lets you determine the pregnancy rate, and you can allow same-sex couples to try for baby. There are also a bunch of other settings related to autonomous romance. It's funny, as soon as I installed this mod, my Sims went and had a baby on their own. Up next is Sims Need Less Space by Rudy. If you play Sims 3 consistently, then you know that Sims are always getting stuck or that they don't have enough space to perform an interaction. This mod shrinks down the space that your Sims need for every interaction, making the game much more manageable, and it becomes a lot easier for your Sims to get around the house. Especially on smaller houses when you're just starting a new playthrough, routing can become a huge issue in your game. Just looking through these screenshots, you can tell how much of a difference that this mod makes. The creator of this mod also released a version for pets called Pets Need Less Space, and when you use both of these mods together, it really makes a big difference in the routing in your game. Up next, we have the Similar 90 Gameplay Core mod. This mod fixes a lot of issues found in Sims 3. It's been updated over 200 times with hundreds of quality of life fixes made to the game. Just to give you guys an example of what kind of things are in this mod, the most recent fix made it so that reading a child to sleep actually happens in the child's bed instead of occurring in just any bed in the house. There are tons of fixes impacting things like story progression, romance, and much more. This mod is a must-have for fixing things that were never touched by EA. Next up, we have the More Toddler Interactions mod by TheSweetSimmer. Toddlers in Sims 3 can feel pretty basic at times, so I like to use the More Toddler Interactions mod by TheSweetSimmer. This adds a lot of new interactions for toddlers, like helping them to sleep, napping in the high chair, dancing with toddlers, cuddling, and pureeing food? Not only this, but the mod adds new animations for toddlers while also cleaning up animations that were already in the game. This mod was a must-have for me because toddlers can feel pretty bare bones at times. And I might as well call this next section the Twinsimming section because these next few mods are all made by this great creator. First up is Growing Pains. This is one that I covered in my last video and it's still one of my favorites. This mod adds 28 phases to the game for your toddlers, children, and teenagers to go through. These phases were inspired by Sims 4 Parenthood. Every time your sim goes through a phase, one of their traits is going to be replaced. A non-committal phase will replace one of their traits with the commitment issues trait, and the cringe phase will replace one of their traits with the socially awkward trait, and you get the picture. Each phase also comes with the moodlet, so you know when your sim is going through a phase and which one they're specifically going through. The mod determines if your Sims will go through a phase every time they wake up. Your Sims have a 20% chance to go through a phase, but that can increase depending on a number of factors. For example, if the child Sim has recently witnessed a divorce, lost a friend, or has a negative relationship with someone in their household, then they will be at a higher risk of going through a phase. This mod adds so much replayability to Generations playthroughs. Not to mention that Sims 4 Parenthood only came with 7 phases, while this free mod created by the community came with 28. I definitely consider this a must-have mod, especially if you love family gameplay. Next up by Twinsimming is the Investment mod. This mod adds a new interaction to the computer, allowing your Sims to make investments. Once you hop on the computer, you'll be able to invest anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 simoleons into the stock market. The more you invest, the higher the risk will be that you lose all your money. You can make up to 250% back on your investment, or you can lose every simoleon. If you have the lucky, genius, or born salesperson traits, These will reduce your risk when investing. But if your sim has the unlucky, loser, or absent-minded traits, these will increase their risk of losing money. One really cool feature in this mod is if you have a sim in the business career at level 5 or above, their work performance will actually go up or down depending on how their investments went. You can also research stocks on the computer before you invest to reduce your risk of losing money. There are also a bunch of moodlets that came with this mod for the different investment types and whether or not they made any money. This mod is a ton of fun to play around with, and I love how it impacts work performance in the business career. The Twinsimming Layoff Mod. This is another cool little mod by Twinsimming that allows your sims to get laid off. Every time your sim goes to work, there's a random chance they're going to get laid off. This will give them the laid off moodlet, which gives your sim a massive -50 mood debuff for 7 days. Depending on their career level, your sims can get a severance, unemployment benefits, or both when they get laid off. While it's rare to have a sim get laid off with this mod, it's still a touch that I really enjoy and I love having it in my game. Next up is the Level Up Video Game Skill mod by Twinsimming. This is a really cool mod that makes video games feel similar to how they were in The Sims 4. It adds 9 video games from Sims 4 and unlocks all 6 video games in Sims 3 for your sims to enjoy. We also have 5 different kinds of gaming tournaments for sims to enter. And depending on the outcome, your sims can receive a number of moodlets including winner, runner-up, bronze baby, and loser. There are also stadium tournaments that your sim can participate in after they hit level 6 in the hidden video game skill. These tournaments cost more simoleons to enter, but they also offer way more prize money and celebrity points if you place in the top 3. Kinda going off the video game mod is Livestreaming by Twinsimming. This lets your sims live stream their gameplay on the computer. For this mod to work, your sim has to have an active social networking blog, and then you'll see the live stream interaction become available on the computer. For each hour your sim streams, that will count as one blog post, which will either raise or lower their followers. Once your sim hits 50 followers, they'll start to get tips when they stream. And once they hit 300 followers, they're going to earn celebrity points while they stream. This is a really cool way to make money and become famous at the same time. One of my most recent mods by Twinsimming is Acne and Skincare. It's pretty self-explanatory, but this mod basically makes it so that your sims from teenager to adult can have acne. Teenage sims have the highest chance of breaking out, followed by young adults, and then adults who have the least chance of breaking out. Traits will also play a role in acne, with slobs and unlucky sims being at a higher risk for a breakout. But not to worry, because there are a handful of new skincare treatments included with this mod. Under eye patches, mud masks, even an anti-aging cream that can increase the lifespan of your sim. This is such a nice mod, and it adds a cool touch of realism to teen gameplay, especially when combined with growing pains. It's crazy how many features in Sims 4 can just be added to the older games with the mod. Finally, the last mod on my list is Unhidden Skills with Icons by Nobody's Girl. I really love Sims 3, but the hidden skills just kinda rub me the wrong way. Like, why are we hiding things? Luckily, this mod changes this. There are more than 40 hidden skills in Sims 3 across every expansion, and I didn't even know most of them were in the game. I mean, who knew that every time I sent my sim to play chess or play foosball, they were actually getting better at it? This works perfectly with the video game mods that I just mentioned, making it super easy to keep track of your progress if you're going for the high level tournaments. This also just really made me appreciate Sims 3 a lot more. Like, who knew that there was a skill for broom riding or for foosball? This mod comes with 4 different versions, but I just use version 1, which includes everything that I just talked about. These mods do a lot for the overall functionality of the game and adding on to the core gameplay itself. It's crazy to think that most of these mods on this list came out in the past few years. That just goes to show how active the Sims 3 community is to this very day. With the new mono patcher that Lazy Duchess recently came out with, I think we can expect a lot more groundbreaking mods to start coming out in the future. Until then, I'll be using these great mods. And don't forget to let me know if I missed any of your personal favorites. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more Sims content, don't forget to subscribe to your boy. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one.